Hello everyone. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. Hopefully everything's working. Everything looks like it's working. Everything's working. So what happened there? That was a bit of a strange one. Oh, I think that's because there's a delay. I think there's actually there's like a probably 20-second delay, I think. Something like that. How is everyone anyway? I should really put that up there. That might make that easier. But then I'm going to... I don't know. I don't know, do I? Sometimes you think it's easier with more than one screen. No, it's definitely not. Hello, John. How is John? And Mrs. John? How is everyone? What a week. What a week. Hello, Dope. Who we got in? We got Dope Soul mod. We got Kristen. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Dope. Let's do a roll call on the mods first, shall we? Who else we got? Who else we got? I should look through there. Why do I keep looking on there? Mind you, that's a new one. Didn't used to tell you who was a mod on this one. I needed to look down here. I don't know whether I actually trust that one. Kristen and Dope. Is that the mods that we've got in so far? Jen, we got Jen, aka Plants Are My Jam. Got some members who have joined. Thank you to the new members: Criminal Med, CRPS, and me, and Joe. And we've got a Shannon. Did I say that? Did I say Shannon? Yeah. I don't bloody know. It's been a long old day. Stop doing that. So how is everyone? How is everybody? Are you all well? What happened there? Wow. Fuck, I just stubbed my toe. Ouch. I hate stubbing my toe. That really sucks. Nearly as much as biting your tongue. That's probably, to be fair, that's probably the worst. So, going to be a bit of a different one than what we normally do. I normally ramble on, don't I? There will probably be some rambling later. But more, I want this to be a bit more interactive with the chat. Obviously we've just had this court TV thing come out. It's not really blown anyone away, but I just want to get some people's feelings from it. Hello, Joyce. First live in a while. Thank you for the super chat, Joyce. Yes, it's been a while. I haven't been doing them. So this is the score with obviously the lives. We obviously I had the setup. We had the fire that destroyed the setup, and then we're in the process of moving. We're looking to move. We've moved Freya's high school because she weren't getting on where she was, so she's been moved, which will mean Hayden will go to a different high school as well, which means that we're doing a lot of running about backwards and forwards. And my Mrs. Harsh works in the school nearer to us, and yeah, it's just a lot of runabout. So we're looking to move away, and so I thought I don't really want to do a full setup to then have to dismantle it all, take it all apart. So I've kind of been trying to make do, and it's difficult. Believe it or not, there's the camera. I'm not even using my camera at the moment. The camera you're seeing and what you've seen in the last few videos has been my phone. This is an iPhone 15 Pro. So my camera is actually away. The sound deck and everything is away. It is literally laptop screen, keyboard, mouse, phone, light. So it's one of them. Move away. Yeah, move from where we are. So we're obviously in a militarised zone at the moment. We're in Marham. And the other half, she works where she works, but we're looking to move away from where we are. And, so a lot going on. But, it's really about trying not to set everything up properly because I don't want to have to take it down, but making it look relatively good so the quality of the video looks good. The background looks great. Do you know how many people think that the background is actually a what do you call it? Is a green screen. That's not. This tree is real. If I knock it, it is actually real. None of that is green screen. That's actually room. This is my room. So yeah, iPhone cameras, they are getting good. Hi Harsh, Brian is guilty of driving by 1122 at the wrong time. Yeah, I think you're just about right. I am doing a video tomorrow that will kind of split the room. Hello from Norfolk. Love the lamppost. Is that Norfolk, UK or Norfolk? I can't remember. Norfolk, US. Because I know there's a Norfolk, US as well, isn't there? Da-da-da-da. When you get done, check your DM. I sent you something. Is that DM on Discord? I don't know how to do the Discord link. How do we link Discord? Can we link the Discord in the chat? Because we've obviously got the Discord's been running for a little while, hasn't it? And we've got a few people in there, and I bet there's a lot of people who don't even know. So yeah, I don't know. I had to have a break from Discord because things were just getting mental. It was hard to keep up with everything. But I'm back. I'm trying to get back. But yeah, anyway, let's try and do this. Discord, thank you. I'll have a look afterwards, mate. Finally caught alive. Let's have a look in chat. Norfolk, Virginia, USA, Harsh. That's what you were thinking. Yeah, I knew it was. I knew there was a Norfolk in the US. Definitely. There's also a Norfolk, UK, as well. Yeah. See, I'm currently in Norfolk, UK. Whether I will be for much longer, we don't know. But that's where we are. But right, yeah. So Court TV. Let's get back on. Let's get back on track. So what was people's thoughts about, who saw it, and what were your thoughts about it? Hello, Canada. Thank you, Dope. She has put the link to Discord in there. Can I don't even know how. No, I'll be on the wrong thing. So I might be able to. Can I do something with that? I don't want to click on it because that'll probably send me. Can I pin it? Pin. If I pin that, pinned message. Yeah, so the Discord link is now pinned. And every time I click over there, that opens up another window. That's a bit annoying. I'm just over the hill from Norfolk, East Tennessee. Bro should change his name to Dribble Reality. Cheers, mate. Gotta love your critics. So, yeah, anyway, I digress. So, with regards to it, what do we got? I don't know if that's been confirmed, even if just Romans. It would be good to find out for certain, though. I didn't watch it, and I don't think I feel bad about it. One thing I would say is I wouldn't feel bad about it, 100%. I wouldn't feel bad about it. It's really just... How can I say? It's really just going over what we already know. With Vinny getting really excited about it. That's basically what it is. It's one of them. It's hello Soph. Yeah, it's one of them. It's just there just isn't really anything great. There wasn't anything great in it at all. There was only really one person that was being that fair. You can't win them all. Definitely can't, mate. And if only they knew how little fucks I actually gave, they'd probably quit. But they do keep trying. And yeah, never mind. You can't keep everyone happy. You also welcome. I'm not as fast as time. Jesus, I don't think I think slow mode is actually on. I think it's like 20-second slow mode. That just seems to be going very quick though. Does seem to be going quite quick. If it goes too quick, just let me know. What was it biased in your opinion, Harsh? I think it was, but the thing is, what I would say is this. I think they have no choice. I think they have no choice in that sense to be biased. Because at the end of the day, it's a difficult one. It's almost like you can't say something that's unpopular. You can't say something that's unpopular because you'll get into trouble. You'll get into trouble. Like channels like mine, you know what I mean? You'll say stuff that people don't like. You'll upset a load of people. They'll group together and they'll try and get the channel removed. When the reality is, the harsh reality is nobody knows what the truth is. Nobody knows what the truth is. The only people who know what the truth is, sadly, some of them are no longer with us, and the other one, or other ones, are yet to be found guilty. And what I think I get frustrated with is that people forget that it's not about how they feel. It's about what's right. It's about what's actually true and proven. And at the end of the day, even law enforcement, they can indeed get it wrong. You know, they, at the end of the day, are humans, and humans can make mistakes. We've seen it in the past, we'll see it in the future, and, you know, with respect of the Brian Kohberger case, I have no doubt in my mind that in the future, there might, in the course of the trial itself, there might be more stuff that comes out, sure. But it hasn't yet. It hasn't come out yet. 100% it hasn't. And, you know, when you think that you're in a situation where there's so many people that are out in the public arena, they're on these platforms, and you've also got powerful voices out there, like the likes of News Nation, like the likes of Dateline and Court TV and such, that are heavily biased in their report, and they're doing it because it is the most popular narrative. It also keeps the families on side, so the families are more likely to approach them and to do interviews with them. It makes them, you know, there's a relationship there. Like, none of the families would want to come on this channel because I've said the stuff that I've said. But I'll give you an example. And there are some of us in here, like Dope, for instance, one of the moderators. She'll understand this. I'll just say, thank you, Leslie M. Thank you very much. I'm stuck on this like a bulldog on a dog chew. Drip Drop has uncovered that the address is actually Queen Road, not King Road. It's on the map. Now, I will just come across here a second and just say I think there's an issue with King Road and Queen Road. From what I can make out of the King Road and Queen Road is that these roads seem to run adjacent to one another. So there is indeed a King Road and a Queen Road. That's my interpretation of looking at the maps. Now, I could completely be wrong, but to me it does look like both of these roads coexist, and they coexist next to one another. They actually run side by side. But again, I could be wrong. I could indeed be wrong. But anyway, I'll give you an example of what I mean. And this is about when people talk about an unpopular narrative. And it makes me go back to the... Brad Harris wants me to say hello from Wisconsin. Hello, Brad Harris from Wisconsin. The Michael Vaughan case. So I want you to think about this case, the Michael Vaughan case, and this. Some of you will understand exactly. As soon as I say the Michael Vaughan case, you'll get a specific feeling. And if people turn around and say that anything negative about Brandy or Tyler or any of that family, they'll get a certain way. They'll feel a certain thing. They'll get upset. They'll get annoyed, whether that's in support or whether it be because they're angry with the family. But I want you to really take I want you to step back for a second, and I'm going to ask you a question. Say you lived somewhere, and you kept looking out your window, and one of your neighbour's children, I'm talking about a 4 or 5 year old, kept walking around the streets on its own, different times of the day, and sometimes even into the later part of the evening, sort of 5, 6 o'clock at night, say. How would you feel about that? Would you look out the window and be like, what is that kid doing outside, walking on its own? So I'll just say, right? So with that in mind, I want you to put one in chat, a number 1, if in that scenario, if you were looking out your window, you saw this kid walking about, this young, 4, 5 years old, walking around, no parents about, just walking on his own, if you would look out of the window and think, what is that kid doing on his own? Why aren't his parents watching him? And you're not just seeing it once, but you're seeing it time and time again. Number 1, if you would think, what are they doing? Number 2, if you wouldn't think nothing of it. Wouldn't think nothing of it at all. And I'll leave that with you for 30 seconds. Don't Dive, US2, thank you very much for the super sticker, Don't Dive. It's very kind of you. Number 1s, look at all them 1s. All them 1s coming through. Waiting for a number 2. Is there anybody, any number 2s? Any number 2s? We've got 1, we've got 1 number 2, number 1, number 1, number 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1s. Right. There's some people who said I'd help the kids, do you know what I mean? But I suppose my point here, we've got 649 people-ish, and we've got a load of people that are bunging 1s, and I think we had 1, 2, and we had somebody who cleverly put 3. We've had people who have put 2 and a 1, but the point being, heavily 1. So people who are seeing a small child walk outside, they're putting 1. And that is the right answer, isn't it? Because you think to yourself, what is this little kid doing outside? So then I'll ask you to think about why you've just put a 1 in the chat. Why have you just put 1? And I would bet my bollocks to a barn dance, you've put a 1 in the chat because you're thinking that kid shouldn't be on his own. At that age, he shouldn't be out walking the street on his own. So then we dig deeper into that and we say, so why is it that you think that he shouldn't be out on his own? Why have you put a 1? We've established that it's because he shouldn't be out on his own. So then you think to yourself, right, so why shouldn't he be out on his own then? Because he's not fucking safe. But then we get to this point where, like I've spoken about before with Bird's Triangle, where you keep getting these shots over the bow, where this kid escapes, he goes out. Kelly Miller, thank you so much. That is extremely kind. That is extremely kind. You do not have to do that. But I was shocked there. That took me unawares. Caught me unawares. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that you get these shots over the bow, don't you, where you're thinking to yourself, right, something's going to go wrong here. Something's going to go wrong. And then something does go wrong. Something does go wrong. I've said this before, and that is that you get to this point where something's gone wrong and it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. It could have been stopped. And it's like you think to yourself, that just shouldn't have happened. And why did it happen? It happened because the steps weren't put in place that the parents should have done to prevent that happening. Now, if it happens once, I can get it. Do you know what I mean? If your kid gets out and they go running off down the road, then put a lock on the gate, put a lock on the doors, do what needs to be done so it can't happen again. If it happens a second time, then you've got to sort of think to yourself, what have we done? What have we missed there? Do you know what I mean? And that's what I can't understand. You have these situations where things happen, you know what I mean? Things happen, and we live in a world where you don't want to see so many... all of these things that happen to people happen for a reason. And it's like when we talk about Brian Kohberger, and we talk about the Idaho 4 case... You know, we've got a situation where it's unpalatable. I get it that it's unpalatable to, much like it's unpalatable to say Brandy and Tyler Vaughan could have done more in the situation with Michael Vaughan. They could have done. Whether you want to hear it or not, whether you think it's palatable, whether you think it's distasteful, nobody's going to learn if people don't understand that you can't avoid situations like that without addressing what the problem is. And the problem is that he weren't locked in his fucking garden. There wasn't a lock on the gate. There wasn't a lock on the door. He wasn't being watched. And he kept getting out. It's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. And again, so what I'm getting at is to do with being unpalatable. And talking about, like, the Brian Kohberger situation, saying to yourself, right, so with what we've got, a situation where these kids have all lost their lives in a horrendous, a truly brutal fashion. So it's unpalatable to talk about the person who is accused in anything other than a condemning light. You know, people... I saw some comments, and it was like someone had said, why is he dressed like he's going to a job interview? Why is he not wearing shackles and chains and dressed in a suit? And I thought to myself, this is exactly it. It's so bad that the public can't even bear to see him in a suit. They want to see him looking like Richard Allen from Delphi. And some people won't be happy until they see that. They want to see that. And I'm saying, in the Brian Kohberger situation, is that we may very well get there. But it's damn well premature, should I say. Sorry, not immature. Could be arguable, could have been a Freudian slip. To think to yourself, do you know what? At this moment in time, the guy should at least be given the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt. What if they have got this wrong? What if they've got it wrong? What if the element, the aspect of being a human has forced them into a scenario where they've got it wrong? Do you know what? And I'm going to do a video standalone on this point tomorrow specifically. Because what people keep saying, they keep saying, all right then, you keep saying Brian Kohberger is getting set up. Why is he getting set up? Why him? Why Brian? Why Brian? And I say to myself, look, what's going on in this place at the moment, this situation? We have a situation where you've got a place that hasn't handled anything like this for years, apparently. We have a situation where the college, the actual university, is a huge powerhouse. It provides the education to nearly 50% of its occupants. 25,000 people approximately, 11,000 of them approximately students. And then you are getting all of the business from them students. So your restaurants, like the Greek, the Greek restaurant and that. The grub truck, everything, every business. So you think to yourself, this, at the moment, this university, this powerhouse, this needs to be here. It needs to be functioning properly. And in the back end of just having to function properly, in order to make sure that things keep ticking over, people keep coming in, the work keeps coming in, they are acquiring another university, Phoenix, and Phoenix University has been on its ass. That is embroiled in issues. In fact, there was talk that it was a bad move for Idaho to even acquire this place. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so they thought it was a bad move. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't do it. But why did they do it? They did it for money. Because as soon as that goes ahead, they will get $10 million a year. And then in addition to that, between now and 2030, They'll get a certain percentage of the money that comes in, which from a monetary value is between 150 and 170 million dollars. 150 to 170 million dollars. So they're in the middle of this deal. They're in the middle of this massive, massive deal, and all of a sudden, you've got this murder. You've got this murder in this little place. So there's your answer as to why frame someone like Bryan Kohberger. Because you've got the pressure to do it. The pressure to do it. We've got this deal in the background. This needs to be done. And straight away, you get someone who's not even from the area. He's not from Moscow, Idaho. He just happens to be a stranger from over the way. Come in. So that detaches blame from being a local issue. So you're removing that. They wanted to get rid of the house, get rid of that as well. Let's just clean up, mop up everywhere. People ask the wrong question. Why not Bryan? If they've had Bryan in, remember, a conversation that weren't recorded, weren't filmed, there's no proof of it, we don't know what was said, we never will. But Bryan Kohberger, he had a talk with law enforcement. Now, if during that talk went something along the lines of, I was on my own, I don't know, I can't prove that I was doing anything else because I was on my own, I was just driving around. Bang, he's done. He is done. And people say, why don't he jump up and down and say that he's innocent? Who's he jump up and down to? Who does he jump up and down to? Who? And you've got the situation of Ann Taylor. And I think to myself, Ann Taylor, I can't get my head around it. In the chat, put a number 1 in chat if you trust Ann Taylor, and put a number 2 if you don't. So 1 if you trust Ann Taylor, number 2 if you don't. And I'll tell you why I don't. And we've got Mr. Andrew D. Myers in the house. So Andrew D. Myers, I'm going to be doing some lives with Mr. Andrew D. Myers. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this guy, go and subscribe to him. And we're going to be doing some work together. I'm going to bring some professional information onto the channel, and I will be going over to his channel as well. We're going to be doing some stuff, aren't we, Mr. Myers? And because of that, I've completely forgot what I was saying. My chain of thought has gone. But my point being, this deal was going on in the background, and we got Bryan Kohberger, and why not blame him? Why not? If you've got someone who comes along and you can question him and ascertain that he hasn't got an alibi, there you go. Could you imagine? What's the alternative? That this drags out? This drags out for what? 2 years? And I'll tell you why I don't 100% trust Ann Taylor. And it'd be interesting to get Andrew's take on that as well. I'd like to know whether you think that she is doing the best by Bryan Kohberger. And the reason why I can't get my head around it is because I think to myself, and I've said this before, if Bryan Kohberger's guilty, I feel that she's doing the best she can. If he's innocent, and as innocent as the snow's white, as white snow, whatever they say, pure as snow, I don't think she is doing him a solid. In fact, I think that it could be argued that with this deal going on in this acquisition of Phoenix University, I think that it's very, very convenient that this has now been delayed. Very, very convenient that it's now been delayed, because it kind of now gets to... Well, not only does it get the prosecution to be able to do stuff that they perhaps should have done a while ago. I've already seen them apparently going in and doing more 3D scans using the LiDAR sensors and stuff. But we've got a situation where this deal isn't going to be affected. Could you imagine if it started looking like Bryan Kohberger was going to get off, or he did get off during this deal, and then all of a sudden you have got a shitstorm on your hands? It just seems to be very, very, in my eyes, convenient that, that this is now going the way it's going. And Taylor, she, in my eyes, She did push me, and I get it. You know, I've said this before. It might just be my ignorance of US law, and this is what the likes of having Andrew on the channel and me going on to his channel will teach me. You know, I do need to learn more about it. But I feel that if you're defending someone and you are asking for stuff, you're asking for stuff because you feel that it's missing. And if you've asked for stuff that many times and you don't get it, you keep not getting it, then surely that's a perfect time to go ahead and say, no, let's crack on. Let's go on. Because their situation isn't changed. He's either guilty or he's not. Missed this. What is this? Please, everyone, read my comments on your last amazing video and try and answer. I shall have a look. Won't be after this live because it's quite late here, but I will have a look tomorrow. That is Horn of Gabriel. I can try and find that. Here. Let me put that up for you. But yeah, it's a difficult one for me. This case is so hard. The flip side is Ann Taylor really wants to make a national name for herself, and do you know what? She's doing that. She's done it. Exactly, a DP case takes a lot longer to prepare for, plus they don't have all the discovery yet. How do they go to trial and defend him if they don't have the discovery? And again, you know, I'm not saying that I'm right. I just, in my opinion, I don't see how more time helps him if he's innocent. I feel that it makes more time if he's guilty. Because if he is innocent, then they shouldn't be able to find stuff. They can only fabricate stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like everything, innit? It's whoever sells the best story on the day. And I said in a video earlier today, this is about conditioning people. You know, everybody here that's watching my video, everybody who's in the comments, you have been conditioned by what you have watched. You have been conditioned to see things, hear things, and feel a specific way about it. And some people are thicker skinned than others. Some people are very, very wear the hearts on the sleeve, and they see things like this and they get very, very emotional. And it's very, very easy to make those individuals feel a certain way about a certain person or a certain situation, a certain piece of evidence. And I feel that's what's happened in the Idaho 4 case. So many people have seen something, they've seen the knife sheath, for instance, and the DNA, and that's it for them. They can't get beyond that, because it's like if I tell you to don't think of an elephant, what are you going to think about? You're going to think of an elephant. And it's the same with this knife sheath and telling people that it's a knife sheath, it's got Brian Koberger's DNA on it, it was found underneath Maddie, it's that, you can't get beyond that. You can't get beyond it. And people will even go as far as not listening to the very specialists who were involved in this being born, this entire system being born, and what they talk about it and the problems that they have with it, of how CODIS works, and the fact that if what they said about how much of a sample they had to start with, then CODIS shouldn't have even been able to search that DNA in the first place. It should have spat it back out, rejected it, because there wasn't enough of a sample. So then the question is, if it truly did spit out a response, it searched properly, and it was then again, it's that, well, did you have more than what you said you did? Did you have more DNA? Did you not? It's bizarre. That entire situation is bizarre. What do we got? Thank you very much, Free Bird. Super Chat, $20. Very, very kind of you. Creme News has a new article. There is a YT video inserted at 20:55. On the video, the girl talks about that morning and people crying in her living room about what happened. Have you seen it? No, but we've heard so many stories, haven't we? We've heard about people talking about the multiple conversations that were being had, the Snapchat conversations, and again, people close off to it. Certain things, anything that goes against the narrative, the main narrative, they don't want to hear it. And then things will come up like this. So Creme News, new article, crying in the living room about what happened. It's madness, isn't it? It's madness to think that that there's so much that comes out and stuff that was out right at the start, that then you hear these little things, like you hear this story like that Bethany Funk could have potentially seen someone without clothes on. And people have forgotten, and I've said this multiple times, right at the very beginning, before they even found Brian Koberger, there was nothing, this was early days, though there was some astrophotographers who were filming outside this place. And there was a photography group on Facebook, and there was people in that group who was talking about the fact that they were filming in this area and someone had seen someone running, apparently without any clothes on, running away from this property. And very, very quickly that got removed. It got, the person who posted it got removed, so on and so forth. And yeah, it's you then hear later on that Bethany Funk perhaps saw someone who was nude and running away, and the case is nuts. This case is friggin' crazy. Anyway, let's dip into comments. Let's see into comments. As I am I supposed to have sound? Hopefully, yeah, it says that you've got sound. Hopefully you can all hear me. I don't even think this mic has got a mute on it. I don't think it's got a mute. I can mute it up on the screen, but I can't mute it on the mic. What about him at home with gloves on? This is something that I want to talk. Throwing away his trash. Right, so with regards to his trash, Brian Koberger, rumour has it, he was a bit of a germaphobe. We don't know the truth of that, but we hear it. We also have had reports from people who know Brian and people who have lived with him, or near him, should I say, have said that he's a night owl. That they would hear Brian Koberger regularly knocking about, rattling around at night late. They did. Hello, Harsh, you should turn your lamp on. I should do, but it's noisy and it drives me nuts. Even though you can't hear it because this cancels it out, I can hear it and it's like a friggin' aeroplane. So, what was I saying? It's gone. Anyway, yeah, so the rubbish. So he's a germaphobe. We've had neighbours turn around and say, look, he would rattle about and that at night. And then where he is at his parents' house, the law dictates that the rubbish, refuse, needs to be segregated and put into separate receptacles for recycling and collection purposes. And if they don't do that, they're fined for doing so. So he's up late and he's segregating the trash with gloves on. If I had to do that, and if I ever have to, I'm going to tell you a funny story in a minute. If I have to go back into a bin, I'm putting fucking gloves on. 100%. That's it. So, is it weird? You tell me. We saw the search thing. We saw what they collected from the house. Saw all that. And nothing else has come of it. Nothing else massive. And he was separating the trash in accordance with the rules of trash separation in that area. But not the neighbour's trash. But maybe theirs was full, mate. Again, I don't know. We're hearing part of a story and putting our own bits to it. And the truth is, we don't know, do we? If our rubbish is full and we need to use the neighbours, we just put it in the neighbours. We don't know whether they had they did that together. We don't know whether their neighbours were like, oh, if you need a bit of space, throw it in our bin. That's all right. Just don't know. Same where I live in the UK, not fine, but won't take your rubbish. And that's exactly the same here. If we put something that's polystyrene in the cardboard bin, for instance, it won't take it. And if things aren't in the proper containers, it won't take it either. So there's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. And someone else, Kate, we have super strict laws for garbage where we live too. You can get fined here for having your bin too full. So again, there's all these things where we can make it sound really bad. Nelly B, yet they never said what the trash was. You're right, Nelly, they didn't say what the trash was at all. We just, it is just one of them. It is one of them where we hear something, we hear a story, and we can make that story go one of two ways. I think it was on the other live when we was talking about Brian Koberger had been said to have assisted in saving a lady's life. I think it was a work colleague. And she'd collapsed. They needed to get the defibrillator, and he went and got it. Someone put the boot in and went, yeah, but he went and got it, but he purposefully took ages to get back, hoping that she was going to be dead when he got back. And that's what you get. The story where, this female approaches Brian for help and assistance because she feels that someone's either going to break into her house. She feels unsafe. So she approaches Brian. Brian, he helps her, he assists her, sets up cameras, whatever. That gets twisted that he set cameras up to spy on her. And this is what we get. This is what you're up against. But I don't hear the people who will say, oh, here we go. We're just saying nice things about Brian. That's why Brian is innocent. It's why, what we're just listening to people just trying to batter shit off him all the time. And I think to yourself, but I don't hear you moan when people are twisting these stories and making these embellishments of a story that there isn't all the information, but people are just being able to twist it and twist it and twist it to make it look as bad as it can. And I'd never ever see these same people going and rinsing people for making something or a situation look worse than what it is. Never see it. Never see it. I challenge you. I challenge you to go and see it. But anyway, funny story. Funny story, right? So Hayden had this toy, and this was going back probably 2 or 3 years ago, right? So he had this toy, and it was annoying. It was annoying as shit. And he's got more toys than Toys R Us. And if you're from the UK, I don't know whether Toys R Us are in the US, but he's got an abundance of stuff. So to lose one isn't a bad thing, especially an annoying one. But anyway, it's this toy called Bop It, where it makes it plays this music and stuff. Was it Bop It? It played music anyway. It played music. He did something with it, and it was just so annoying. And it was coming up to Christmas, so he thought, what, we'll get rid of some stuff to make way for new stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because there was stuff that he wouldn't play with, and this game, I saw it as a perfect opportunity to get rid of it. So I put it in the bin. Anyway, put it in the bin, like a big waste receptacle thing, wheeled one. And Hayden walks past the bin. He doesn't know it's in there, but he boots the bin. He kicks it as he goes past. And the bin starts playing this fucking music from this toy. I had to put gloves on and get it back out. Good job. Law enforcement didn't turn up at the time. Can you imagine what they'd have thought? Anyway, I digress. So back in the let's have a look. I'll just make sure that we've got everybody who has done the super chats. Horn of Gabriel, why would he save his DNA by putting it in a plastic bag? That's it, isn't it? That is absolutely it. Nelly B, thank you very much. Charla, thank you very much for your good causes, Mr. Harsh. Thanks God it's Tuesday, day off. Yeah, I wish I had a day off. I can't remember the last time I had one. Thank you, Roostafarian. Thank you, Karen. 5 gifts. Freebird, thank you very much. Horn of Gabriel again. Kelly Miller, member new. Thank you very much for joining, Kelly. Welcome to the Madhouse. Clever nickname. Thank you. Leslie, thank you. And we've got Kelly Miller with that donation that kind of it made me so I couldn't talk. It's very, very kind. But look, and I'm not saying this for any other reason to try and get people to donate. You know, I never expect anybody to donate. I try not to ever ask for money, ask for donations, ask for merch, any of that stuff. I seldom ask for likes. You know, if I do a good job and do a video that people like, they like it. They don't need to be told to like. But we do try and give as much away as we possibly can. We pay for people to go on holiday, families to get away in situations where they wouldn't normally. And at the end of this year, later on this month, and also later on in December as well, we're going to be giving families £400 each in order to make sure that they can have a better Christmas. So all the super chat stuff goes to that. Anything from merch, that also goes through that. Buy me a coffee, that goes through that as well. And you know, there's a lot of this channel is monetized. It gets ad revenue. I try and be transparent about the ad revenue as well. And yeah, we give as much away as we can. I just renewed my membership. Didn't know it was cancelled. Thank you, Auntie B. Yeah, I think if it's a gifted membership, they run out after 30 days, I believe. The gifted memberships as well, they work randomly. So if someone gifts a membership, it literally just picks someone at random. But I believe Nelly B has just gifted a membership. Yeah. Was Nelly B. She's been gifted memberships. Thank you, USA Kiwi 1986 for your super sticker as well. So what do we got? You waive your right to expected privacy. It's not your home if it's not your home address. Yes. I'm asking everyone to thumbs up. Had to cancel, unfortunately. Yeah, like I say, guys, the memberships, anything, take care of yourself and your family first. This channel, you know, just being here, just watching, just liking the videos, doing all that stuff. The free stuff is massive. You know what I mean? You don't have to be here. You could be over watching anybody else doing anything else. If you're here, that is a huge donation. Is there anything more precious than our time? I don't think anybody would argue that time is the most precious gift you can give someone. So again, never, ever, ever feel bad for not being a member or not being able to do anything. You're here, and that's what's important. We have a fantastic community here, and a very good community here. I have no idea how much the memberships are. I think one's $2.99, one's $8.99, something like that. But yeah, we do have an amazing, amazing community. We've got a fantastic set of mods. We've got some people who have been here so long as well that they're like furniture. Dixie, you've been around here since the beginning. Dope Soul, Jen, like I say, all of the mods who we've got have been here pretty much from inception. And we'll remember Michelle After Dark telling me that she would let me on her big channel when she was trying to prove a point about the Michael Vaughan case. Don't really know what her point was, but yeah, she was being nice and telling me that she was going to let me on her big channel. If anyone sees her, tell her she'd like to do a live and I will let her on the big channel. No, don't. I'm just joking. That would be petty as fuck, wouldn't it? Anyway, and I'm not petty. People know that. I'm not petty. I'm never petty. Anyway, let's do some questions in chat. Look, I don't even know what the time is. How long have we been going for? 48. So let's have some questions. Put a Q in your thing if you've got a specific question. We'll do some questions. And then I am going to tell you how you can win a hoodie. Questions. Oh, Drunk Turkey is so biased now because he's ex-law enforcement, mate. He's been biased from the start. I've got nothing against him. I've got nothing against him at all. You know, people are entitled to their opinion. They are. But like I've said to you, they claim, people take the moral high ground, but it's like they kick off when people are sticking up for the rights of Brian Kohberger, but they won't go out and equally attack people who are embellishing and pushing shite. You know, and it just makes me, you know, Detective John. Detective John. This is the guy who's actively sending his subscribers to mass report channels and what have you. Too bad the terms of service have been changed to counteract that shit. Question, what do you think about the fact that the time of death was changed? I think, like I said in the video today, I think it's very, very convenient that this one person who seems to be controlling the entire timeline of this case is one of the surviving members. The one who wasn't a witness and now is a witness, and it just don't sit right with me. Don't sit, and they could, and later on they might explain it fully. It might all come out. But yeah, Kathy Mabbott put it at one time. Later on down the line, it gets moved to another time that just happens to coincide with Brian Kohberger's car being about, and possibly his car being about. And yeah, I do find it bizarre. Find it very bizarre. Of course I do. And Help So Wonderful, it's not an ability here. The state and others are not helping at all with DV situations nor health issues. The world needs more like you, Harsh. Yes, and we will be doing the mental health live as well. The plan is to do it tomorrow, actually, the mental health live. At the very latest, it will be Friday. I don't even know what day it is today. What day is it? Tuesday. Yeah, so the plan is to do it tomorrow. Discuss the coroner's discrepancy in time of death. That's an easy one. Kathy Mabbott came out and said she placed the time of death somewhere between 2 and 3 originally. She also made statements that would lead some to believe that there was either multiple weapons used or injuries that were not, you would not expect from a K-bar unless it was used in the manner with which it was designed to be used. And I say this carefully because I've covered it before. The K-bar is used very specifically when used by people in the military. It was used predominantly as a slashing weapon, not a stabbing weapon. So for those who were specifically trained in the military to use it, that weapon would be held in a specific way and used in a specific way. So when you listen to what Kathy Mabbott says, it further suggests that either that wasn't a K-bar that was used, or there was more than one used, or the person who was using it in a very specific way that could have potentially been perceived as being a military user. It's my husband's birthday and I'm here. Love the Harsh family. Happy birthday to your husband, though, as well. Let's have a look. What do we got? Questions. Did I miss any? Yeah, Kathy Mabbott got told to shut the fuck up, basically, because she was talking a lot, and I think she was starting to get on people's nerves. Thank you very much. I am the best. Harsh, a great heart. Thank you very much. You are the best. You're all the best. Have we got any other questions? Before we wrap up, have we got any questions? We do have great folks in here. We have a very, very good... You know, I don't care if we don't... there's a lot of people in there who don't agree with me. There's a lot of people. I don't want people to always agree with me. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. I just want people to get on. You know, speak to one another. If you don't agree with each other, then that's fine. Tell me why you don't agree. I think it was people get upset, you know what I mean? And that's what people don't understand. It's like I was listening to the lawyer you know, and you could tell that he's took a bit of a beat and he's took out the heart a bit, do you know what I mean? It was he don't like saying it. He's a bloke, but I think some of the stuff had got to him a bit because he's a genuine guy. So when he's hearing people say certain things about him, it upsets him. And the thing is with me, I'm just not. You can't upset me. I know a bite. I'll say shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me. I think it's quite funny. But people are people, do you know what I mean? Everyone's got their own opinion. Have a difference of opinion, but just voice it normally. Don't be a dick. Discuss the coroner's thing. We've already done that. Isn't it the law prosecution has to hand over all the evidence? Yes, they should. But we do know in the past that they can have a trial by ambush. It's not uncommon. And but anything that's discoverable, everything he's entitled to that's pertinent to the case should be handed over to him. 100%. What would you like for Christmas? What would I like for Christmas? I want a new watch. That's what I'm getting for Christmas. And I'm going to buy another watch. So that's what I want for Christmas. And that's it. I don't ask for much. I don't buy myself anything. I don't buy myself anything. Don't buy anything. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm a bit boring. Why aren't your Christmas lights on in the background? I will tell you why. The tree ones are on. These are on. But those lights here, they are not video lights. And because the phone is just an iPhone, the shutter rate on the phone camera means that they flicker, and it will drive you insane. You won't even probably see it, but it will affect you. That light over in that far corner, that is a proper professional video light. So that can be on. But sometimes, some lights won't work properly. But that's why they're not on. It's just to stop you from having an epileptic fit. Do you think he did this by himself? Do you know something? I will say this. I struggle. After watching, I don't know if anybody else found this. But after watching that court TV thing yesterday and listening to how hard they were pushing certain things, the more I struggle to put this in a situation where Brian Kohberger was connected and did it as part of a larger group. I don't see that no more. I don't think I see it as him being involved. I think he either done it by himself now, or he didn't do it at all. And he has indeed just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. To think that he did it with somebody else, I don't think that's the case now. The more I think about it and the more time has progressed, I am moving away. That was for a long time was something that I truly believed. I truly believed. And why I believed it is because I thought Brian Kohberger very well could have done this. But why did he walk into this house on this specific night and with all them cars in the car park? Someone, even if it was just that someone tipped him off, you can come now. You can come. That's helping. That's someone helping him. But then I thought, do you know what? If he had a connection like that, surely someone would know. Someone would know that he knew them. There was some further connection. And maybe that will come out, who knows? But I don't know. I think he either did it by himself and there's a shocker and it is what it is, or he genuinely didn't. He just genuinely ain't he's not involved at all. When do you think the trial will actually start? I say 12 to 18 months. Realistically, from looking at other cases, looking at similar situations, not that we have death penalty cases, but we do have high-profile cases in the UK, I'd say 12 to 18 months would be reasonable. They might come out, but there's so many things that they've got to do. Obviously, we're still having this battle for discovery. That isn't over. We've got the stuff coming out on the 1st of December with with this IGG stuff, which will then have to go to professional, witnesses and to look into that. And this is going to go on for a while. It is going to go on for a while. Do not be surprised if this is a year, 18 months. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. What an absolute legend. What an absolute legend. For those of you who have not watched Queen, the new version of it, the film that they brought out not that long ago, go and watch that film. It's absolutely amazing. What an absolute legend that bloke was. What do we got? Any more questions? Why did DM leave the sliding doors open after the unaliver left? I want to know how she saw that he went out through the back sliding doors from where she was, because unless she was out of the room, she wouldn't have seen him leave. So she literally must have come literally right out of the room. I just... But she was frozen and all that. But yet she watched him. I can't even think about it. When can we expect the trial, do you think? We've got that. So let's have a look. What else we got? What do we got? Can we expect... When can we... It keeps jumping. So I keep reading the same frigging question like a nutcase. Put a Q before your questions. Thank you very much, Dixie. Didn't coroner say she didn't go to crime scene till 5 hours after being notified because law enforcement were doing their thing? Is that normal procedure? Could that have impacted on... To be fair, I'm not 100% sure. I do believe that she said that, but in terms of protocol, I can't answer that. I don't know in terms of how the US would work. What their sort of chain of command is in that situation. What do we got here? What's the chance of this crime happening at the same time as a DoorDash delivery? Like I've said this multiple times. That DoorDash delivery driver must have followed whoever did this. If that was Brian Koberger, they were literally in tandem. And at this time of night, there wouldn't have hardly been any other cars on the road. So one would have been in front of the other. It's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Maybe that is the answer as to why the white car on the footage was behaving strange, because it was trying to avoid being seen by the DoorDash driver. I don't know. But it seems really strange. Why won't they move BK's trial away from Moscow, even to a different state? I don't think they should. I don't think they should move it, and I'll tell you for why. Because if there was any truth in what Jay Lodgton said, and that was that these grand jurors, these members had said that they wanted more, then that's an indication that people do want to see more. They want to see more. So I don't think there's any escaping people knowing about it. I think it's... Just go from it. Just do it. I don't think he's going to escape and go to somewhere where nobody's going to have been touched by this. And again, maybe the situation with the grand jury is an indication that this place is okay. Odd no picks or nothing. I like those channels too. What do we got? Question. Why won't they move to... got that. What do we got? Question. Didn't coroner said... Oh, I've already seen that one. We've done that. That's because the chat keeps bloody jumping. Keeps jumping. Question, what was the chance? We've seen that. Question, how do I win a hoodie? I will tell you in a moment. I shall tell you all in a moment. Who left the front door open in the morning? See, we don't know if that was open or not. The rumour is that it was indeed open, but we don't know. I always thought, and I covered this earlier, thinking that I believe if that door was open, that's a huge thing, because I believe that door was open by someone in the house, hoping that someone else would come along, walk in that house and stumble across the crime scene. It would almost be like an excuse to be like, oh my God, what has happened? But it didn't happen. Someone opened the door, nobody came in, so then it led them to having to think, well, we're now going to have to call people over, aren't we? We're going to have to call people over. Do you know what I mean? That almost like you want somebody else to find it, so... you detach from that situation, because how do you pick up the phone when it's been 8 hours and explain it? How do you deal with that? Like, I even put it from, and this ain't even having a pop, because I think if I was in that situation, what would I do? Because I'd be thinking, fuck, how am I going to explain this? Because I look guilty as shit now, and that's just the reality of it. What is your impression of the Linda Lane footage? Do you think it really sheds any light on anything? Being honest, I don't. And I'm not saying that it doesn't contain information that supports other footage. I'm not saying that at all. It does. You know, it seems to be legit in that it lines up with different vehicles driving, different sounds being heard. But at the end of the day, this camera is on a different street. It's on a different street. And if I have one more person email me and say that they can see the reflection of the murders happening in the back window of a car or people being dragged out of a house one more time, I think I'll have some sort of breakdown. I'm telling you now, there is not a scenario where you can see this crime happening in the back window reflection of a car on Linda Lane. You are amazing. Thank you very much, Carrie. Super sticker. Thank you. That is very kind of you. But yeah, if you had I should give my email inbox to someone. You can deal with that for a week. The vast majority of you are amazing, but some of the stuff that people get sent, it's mental. How do you have frozen shock and can't call 911, but you can text a friend? I'm guessing that the fingers probably thaw out quickest, and then you are able. I don't know. I'm joking, but yeah, it's bollocks. That's what I think. Don't forget, Harsh does awesome mental health lives too. Thank you very much, Dope. Yes, and hopefully we'll be doing that tomorrow. That is the plan. As long as I can stay awake, that's the big thing. If not, then I'll push it by a day. But my plan is to do it tomorrow. I'll see how I am in the morning. See how much coffee I have to use to function. What is the chance of BK having a fair trial at this point? Will there be a change of venue? I don't think there's going to be a change of venue. I genuinely don't. I think it's going to happen here. I think they're going to want it to happen here. Is it going to be fair? I don't think we'd even know. I think that's the reality of it. That is just going to be opinion-based, whether we believe that the jury can be biased or not. And I think there is a high probability that the jury could indeed be biased. But ultimately, if the evidence is there and they can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, then that's so be it. I just don't want to get to a situation where he is convicted on circumstantial evidence that leaves an abundance of questions at the end. Because that, in my eyes, is not justice, it is not closure. And I can't see Steve Goncalves being happy. He wants them to prove that it's Brian Kohberger. And that's what I want. You know, this is a father of Kaylee saying, if you think it's Brian, prove to me. I want you to prove it to me that it's Brian. And that's what we all want. Prove it. Prove it that it's him beyond a reasonable doubt. And we'll accept it. But that hasn't been done yet. And yes, it might do. It might do, but it hasn't been done yet. So if you're convicting him, then it's premature. It's premature. He, at the very least, however hard it is to swallow, like I said at the beginning of this live, however hard of a pill that is to swallow, it's what is right. And if your child or you or someone you loved ever found themselves in this position and they were innocent, you surely would want people to give them the benefit of the doubt, to give them that grace. Lord forbid that it happens, but it can happen, and it happen very easily. And I've told you stories. I've told you stories about people who I know. Someone who killed someone. They literally, someone I knew killed somebody, and by the time law enforcement had got hold of that, they made it look like the person I knew was the victim. And that's the gospel truth. It happens. It happens. I've got law enforcement in my family now who are more bent than a 2-bob bit. I'm telling you. And they are law enforcement, and they are bent as the day's long. And I hope they see it. You're a wanker, is what you are. And he knows who I'm talking to if he sees it. Abusive, manipulator of females. What he did to his wife was sick, and it was hidden and covered up by the police force that he worked with. And they can all fuck off. Yes, but like I say, for all those people who genuinely think that you can trust law enforcement, they are good people, they're decent people, they never get anything wrong, they always think about what's best for the public, what's best for it ain't Life ain't like that. Life ain't like it. My May, the fantastic My May. Do you think the students in the house called the fraternity before the police? Fuck yes, I do. Absolutely they did, 100%. And that is just in my opinion. Just in my opinion, yes, they did. And could I be right? Yes, I could. Do I think I'm right? Do I think I'm wrong? No, I don't think I'm wrong. I think that was what happened. I think they did indeed call. And I must admit, if I was in that situation, would I have called them first? Probably. And I'm just being real. I look at kids now. I look at teenagers. I look at young adults. They don't give a fuck. They will look at what the situation is. Am I in the shit? What can I do to get myself out of the shit? Do I need to call a friend? Do I need to phone a friend to get advice on how to deal with this? I don't know. What was that? I think I saw someone saying, did Ann Taylor take a smart TV from someone's house? I don't know. Are you able to offer assistance in the US, or does the pond present a problem? Depends on how I'm offering assistance. If it's monetary, if it's like I'm doing the $400 prize, that will be paid via PayPal. So if it's someone in the US, the only way that I can pay that is via PayPal. If it's other help or assistance, it depends how my knowledge stretches, I suppose. Do you think a golf club was used at all during the attack? Possible, but in answer to that, the most honest thing to say would be I genuinely don't know. We know that the golf clubs were at the house where they used. I don't know. Would they have had time in that 8 minutes to have used it? Don't know. Right. So how can you win a hoodie? So when this live ends, I want you to comment in the comments, so not in the live chat, in the normal chat, hashtag, so that is like the crosshatch symbol, and hoodie. And then you can put, just in your comments, so write a comment, put hashtag hoodie, and I will, on Saturday, do a random comment picker, and we'll pick someone, and I'll get it sent out to you next week. I've actually got 2 other hoodies to send out as well, that I still haven't done. The issue is I live so far away from a bloody post office, and it's sometimes a pain in the ass to get to one. So we go to the post office like twice a month, because the post office near us at close. We literally live, well, again, like right next to the RAF base. But no, that's about it. We've had a bit of a chat. We talk. They're in the, we have a great community here. It's always fantastic to spend a bit of time with you. I'm going to be doing more lives. Hopefully more stuff will come out. We want to talk about some other cases as well. But I just want to try and keep the Idaho 4 case relevant. I think it's important that we do keep it relevant and we talk about it, and when things come up that we're there. Because if we don't and we let it go away, then it could get forgotten about, and things could happen that we don't see, and we need to. Can we buy them? Yeah, there is a merch link somewhere on the channel. I don't know where. I think it might be in the community feed. I can't remember if I'll put it back in videos. But I think there's only one, at the moment, one design in there. So I removed them all. I closed it. Yeah, don't put it in the live chat. Put it in the chat afterwards. That's excitement, that is. That's excitement. People get excited. Anyway, I think that's it. We'll call it a night. We've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. We started a bit early as well. Thank you so much to everybody who came over and said hello tonight. We have, like I say, we have a truly amazing, amazing community. Thank you so much to Dixie, Tracy, Jen, Dope, all of the moderators, Ken, Mr. Ken as well. Who else was modding? My May, obviously. My May, the fantastic My May. And I can't bloody remember if we saw anybody else. I know we've got some other mods, but I know they have a life. They have a life. They can't always be in there every time, can they? Plus, with the fact that I'll say I'm doing a live and then something will go wrong or I'll change it, they probably think, fuck, he probably won't do it. But that's me. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you for all of the people who sent in the super stickers. Absolutely amazing to all of you. The gifted memberships. Thank you for all those that became members. Like I say, you are absolutely amazing. And I will see you all in the next one.